Broadcasting live from the attic. You can check out my website, thehohoshow.com. You can follow me on Twitter. You can email me, hoho@thehohoshow.com. You can check out my YouTube channel and find me on Facebook. Telephone number, as always, 217-917-4405. If you want to call and be part of the show, a proud member of Weapon Onslaught Productions. So welcome to the Ho Ho Show. And as always, I am your host, Ho Ho.
All right. Giggity, giggity.
Well, guys, it has been another intriguing week as far as news stuff goes. So there's not a whole heck of a lot that I got to get into. The majority of it is, just more or less some things that are coming up, masks that are being taken off and, things that's coming up that's just, kind of more the same old, but there's some aspects of the different topics that I'm going to be talking about today, and gun control, immigration, and then bringing up some tech stuff that it bears repeating, I guess you can say, and stuff that I've not brought up in this way before on the show. So that's just kind of in a matter of speaking what I'm looking at on that, so just kind of checking all my feeds, making sure everything is kosher and everything looks to be kosher. So that's kind of cool. So, awesome. And dadgummit, again, I forgot to unmute Spreaker. So, they missed like that first however many seconds that was. Like a minute or two worth of stuff. So, I hate it whenever I do that. I really do. All right. Let's see. Everything looks kosher. Everything looks good. Sweet. Facebook is still not on there. I hate whenever that happens. You know, for some reason, I haven't figured out what it is. But, you know, Facebook does not want to connect via chat. I got to, like, actually go into the window. And I think that's because I actually have the window up. Which I think, according to chat, it says that you're not supposed to be doing that if you want to use it. But the only way to be using Facebook is to actually have the stinking thing up and going on your screen in the first place. So, kind of sucks. I hate that. So, anyway, the first thing I'm kind of wanting to touch base on, and I don't really have any, I guess you can say, show-related news and information that I'm getting to. Actually, you know what? I kind of take that back. I have been shopping around for a table, you know, a desk, a bigger desk for quite a while because, well, past couple months really. You know, and it's one of them things that I never could find something that I wanted that was big enough that, or just didn't cost like an outrageous amount of money, like $1,000. Yeah. I'm like, holy crap, I am not spending $1,000 on a desk. I actually found one that I'm, you know, very, very highly considering getting. So I don't know if it's going to end up happening or not. You know, I'm just still kind of thinking about it and looking at the moment. But other than that, yeah, whatever. So first thing I want to touch base on today. And by the way, hello, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook's Mixer, and Periscope. How you guys doing today? Welcome to the show. And all right, getting into it again. The satellite, the Chinese satellite, I don't remember if this is a communication satellite or whatnot. I have no idea. But they have kind of narrowed down the window as far as when it's going to be crashing. And the date that they put on here was, and this comes from Inverse, actually. The date that they have on here is window to 7:25 p.m. Eastern Time, April 1st to early morning of April 2nd. And Southwest, most likely above Southwest Europe, is where they're looking that this is going to be re-entering. They give a longitude and a latitude. 43 degrees, between 43 degrees north and 43 degrees south latitudes. What? I have no idea what they're talking about. I don't even know where that is. But the last thing I had read as far as their, you know, projected, you know, re-entry point was, you know, somewhere around or somewhere above Spain, Portugal, and France. So, I mean, I don't know much more than that on that. I am no Mr. Kuntz. I am not doing no 5-hour show. I am not going to do it. It's not going to happen. No, sir. Not at all. So, but yeah, there we go as far as the re-entry of this. And apparently, no, this is not a practical joke. This is not anything like that, you know. Yeah, not at all. And actually, you know what? Tomorrow I would definitely you know, view into the Religion Ho-Ho's Way show. That's going to be a, you know, of course, considering it is Easter and April Fool's, it just seems like a good time to just have a show, have fun with it. And, you know, I'm going to be talking, you know, paganism and, of course, the Christianity ties between paganism and Christianity as far as the whole Easter Sunday thing and whatnot. So I think that should be relatively, you know, fun and interesting. So what is that? Are you blowing me a kiss? Crazy. Mwah. Back at you, buddy. Let me check my... Okay, we're good. All right, so let's see. First segment, we're going to be tackling gun control. Now, of course, you know, I'm bringing up the whole, you know, Parkland survivors and a few other things in here, a few other articles that I'm going to be bringing up on here. But first one I want to kind of talk about is this article right here. I guess I can take that one out, minimize that. Very good. Oh, yes. Oh, you're welcome for that blowing you kiss back, Very, very nice. Yeah. Anyway. And I actually did not test this, what I am about to do, to see if I had it. Oh, cool. Very cool. I kind of changed the camera around a little bit, and I wasn't sure if that was actually going to mess up this frame thing, whatever I got going on here. So here it is. Headline, this comes from Western Journal Register. The gun control movement is polar opposite of the civil rights movement. And, really it's one of them things. Oh, wait, crap. Hey, you guys didn't see that. Yes, I was watching other videos on here. So, yeah, never mind. A couple polar differences between the civil rights movement and the gun control movement is simple. And that's the whole violence. I'm not exactly 100% sure where they was looking at in this article, but these are the things that just came to mind whenever I looked at the headline, I looked at the picture. Back then you were talking a peaceful demonstration, a peaceful movement. They was, killing people with kindness, so to speak. That's what they were doing. That's what the goal was. That's what they were trying to do is, win people and influence them in order to be to be something opposite of those whom they were standing up against, And I guess on that nature, or on that note, so to speak, that they've kind of gone the same direction, when it comes to the gun control movement, because they are being something different than those are standing up against. Because we're not standing up making a whole heck of a lot of noise. We're really not, because we are coming together in groups, coalescing, whatever, big word. And we're letting the Constitution doing the talking for us. And we're actually sitting back, laughing our butt off as far as the ignorance between, those whom have something to say and those who are educated in what it is that they're saying. It's funny. I was watching a video yesterday. It might have been earlier today. I don't remember. But this guy, let me just go ahead and bring up this article. Just go ahead and bring this one up. This headline comes from, I have no idea, Ammo Land? Yeah. First Amendment limitations do not justify Second Amendment limitations. And, of course, there is a video attached to this. And, I watched a little bit of this one, of course. Let me go ahead and bring this one up. Bam. There you go. And, I didn't listen to the video in its entirety. I really didn't. Got to be honest with you. I did not. But one of the things that that he was talking about in here was, the whole, yelling fire in a, in a theater. Obviously you have limitations on your First Amendment right that you can't do that. That's, you're not supposed to do that whatsoever, And one of the things that he brought up in this video, and let's see, Clark Ramsey, I believe is what this gentleman's name is. But one of the things he was bringing up in the video was the whole, this was actually from a court date that they were talking about, a big thing with I actually can, I'll listen to the song, but unfortunately, I will not be able to actually play it. I'm not supposed to be playing, copyrighted songs. Unfortunately, I can't, but, I'll definitely take a listen to it. And thank you, sir, by the way. I definitely like listening to new music, new genres of music and whatnot. Definitely open to all kinds of things. But one of the things that he was talking about was yelling fire in a theater. Now, not extortion. What's that thing where you do something really bad? It starts with an E against your government. Not extortion. Yeah, no copyright. Can't do copyright. Oh, that's not copyrighted. Okay. Ray, help me out on this. Oh, it's a Citizen song? Okay, cool, cool, cool. Let me see if I can even. Oh, it's on YouTube. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Yeah, espionage. That's that word. Espionage. Thank you, Ray. So yeah, that's what this court case was actually talking about. Whenever they were talking about limitations on this on the First Amendment right. No, you cannot commit espionage. No, you can't do that type of stuff. And no, your First Amendment rights on that stage are not protected. And of course, this was something that actually came out. If I'm not mistaken, this came out in. Oh wow, I can't remember the. I can't remember the year. I think this thing says somewhere around 1919. Yeah, espionage. You know what? It's right there on the freaking screen if I just learned how to read. I went to Taylorville High School. I don't know how to read. But anyway, yeah, but that's what they were talking about. 1919 is how long it took for them to come out with with some type of a limitation on the First Amendment right. 1919. And it was talking about espionage. It wasn't even talking about things like yelling fire in a theater. That was an example that he gave that had absolutely nothing to do with the court case of which they were in. And here's another little bitty piece of caveat, if you will, that, okay, here's the thing whenever it comes to, going to a theater and watching a movie. You spend whatever the ticket price is, for the ticket, okay? This isn't just some simple ticket. This is a contract. It is a contract for you to go into that building, which is a private building in the first place, okay? For you to sit down in a seat and shut your mouth and not be a disturbance to the other people whom also have paid money to see a play, see a movie, or whatever performance it is that they're about ready to see. That's what it amounts to. It is a contract. And for you standing up and being a disturbance, whether you're yelling fire or not, you're being a disturbance. You're violating that contract. Therefore, they will kick you out. Is that a limitation on your First Amendment? No, it is not, because that is a contract that you openly and freely go into. So yeah, no, you can't do that, but that's one of the things that they talk about is, with the whole espionage, limitation on freedom of speech. And, there are other things in here, of course, that, that they talk about as far as, but one of the things that get off my screen. Oh, where is that line at? I'm looking for it. Actually, I think it was in the headline. Yeah, so, okay, yeah, it's in the headline. The First Amendment limitations do not justify Second Amendment limitations, period. And the bottom line is, the fact of the matter is, if you take away the Second Amendment, okay, like it or not, guys, and I really don't care, all right, actually listen to what our read the Federalist Papers and listen to what our founding fathers said about the Second Amendment, about how important it is to defend yourself and what it meant to be free and why they put the Second Amendment in there and what it was intended for. Because most people would be very shocked to actually see what they were talking about, very, very much so. So let's see here. What else did I have on that aspect? Should I put that in there? No, I shouldn't. Oh yeah, here's another thing too. Okay, now here's the thing. This is not a gun problem. This is a people problem, okay? And one of the things that they are talking about, let's see, which one should I cover first? Because there's one of them where it's talking about repealing the Second Amendment, and then there's another one. I'll just do this one. Yeah, so this headline comes from GOP USA. I don't know. A fan mail for a mass murderer from America's teens. Yeah, I guess that's the new thing that's going out now. That, I mean, this kid, the one who was with the, who did the Parkland shooting, he has been getting fan mail from teens, from girls, from other guys, from all kinds of people. And from what it sounds like, this is some pretty disturbing stuff, So it's like, okay, this is not a gun problem. This is a people problem, The problem runs deeper than guns. Guns is just a tool. That's all it is. It's a tool. That's all that it is. It's the people. That's where the problem is. And here you go. You've got, people who are, giving this kid fan mail, liking what he did, supporting him for what he did, wanting him to, stand strong and be proud of what he did and all this other kind of stuff. It's like, are you kidding me? Apparently this, some of this stuff is pretty stinking sick. I mean, I kid you not. It is pretty sick. I haven't really read it, just, listening to, the stuff in the news that's been on it and what other people have said about it. It's like, holy crap. I haven't looked at it myself. I haven't seen any of it, but I guess it is pretty astounding. And I mean, holy crap, guys. I mean, that is one of the things that is the problem, definitely that's the problem. So another headline that has been going around, well, let's see. Let me see if I can actually find that one since I'm trying to touch base on it. And it's basically talking about how the Democrats have basically removed their mask and, they're trying to attack us in ways okay, I'm not seeing it. All right, I'll just go back to that one. That they're basically attacking us the way that they've always wanted to attack us. They're not holding back anymore, now with, enough gun violence that has happened in schools, yada, yada, blah, blah, that, that they're now able to take the mask off and just say what it is that they actually have been wanting to do for a while. And that is basically, ban everything that they deem as scary, which doesn't have anything to do, again, with ballistics and anything with to do with the bullet, how much damage it'll do. It's just based off of the gun and its, cosmetics. Does it look bad? Does it look scary? And those are the things that they're actually attacking, which just goes to show you how much these people have absolutely no idea what it is that they're talking about. They really don't. So what they're trying to do, what they're wanting to do is appeal the Second Amendment. And that's one of them things, Trump actually even went out and said it, that no, you guys aren't repealing the Second Amendment, and they're laughing at him about this. It's like, dude, you guys don't understand. Okay. President Trump isn't saying this because there's something he can do about it, because there's nothing he can do about it. It's outside of his hands. He has absolutely no control over whether they appeal the Second Amendment or whether they add anything else into the Constitution whatsoever. He has nothing to do with it. What he is merely talking about is the overall feeling and temperature of this argument. Now the left would have you believe that there's like 90 some odd percent, 97% of the population that is against, that want to restrict gun control and want all out gun bans, this, that, and the other. And my question is, who did you guys talk to? Because you didn't talk to me. I don't know anybody that you guys talked to. I have no idea. Where's your source at? Where are you getting this data at? Where are you getting this information at? These are the things that I want to know. But it's not going to happen, because the problem is there is so much stuff that they have to go through. They have to get, 3/4 of Congress and 35, 36, 37 of the states to agree to amendment if they were to get rid of it. That's what they would have to do. To repeal it, that's what they would have to do. I mean, it's hard enough to get people to agree on the things that they get them to agree on. So for them to actually get that many, and I tell you what, guys, and I'm not an advocate on this any way, shape, or form whatsoever. I'm not. Okay, I'm just stating the reality of the fact. That's all I'm stating. I'm stating a reality. If you guys actually go the distance and repeal the Second Amendment, you're going to have a second war. I'm not condoning it. This is no call to arms. This is just the reality. And listen to me when I tell you. You go to the point of repealing the Second Amendment, that in itself is unconstitutional. That is a law that free men and women do not need to follow. And you're going to have a war on your hands. There's more of us than there are of you. We have more weapons. And if you really want to kick the hornet's nest even more, just remember that the military, they're not going to honor your order telling them to do this, because it's a violation of the Constitution. It's a violation of their oath of office to support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And if your order violates the Constitution, goes directly against the Constitution, it's not an order that they have to follow. You're asking for a hurt storm. I mean, you really are. I'm not advocating it. I'm not promoting it. I'm not asking for it, and I'm not calling for it. I'm just giving you the temperature. I'm a newsman. I'm giving you the temperature. It's 56 degrees outside. Wind from the north. Winter is coming. Actually, spring is coming. But yeah, but it ain't going to happen because there's way too much stuff that would have to happen. Way too many people involved. It's too big. They're not going to be able to repeal it because there are way too many people supporting the Second Amendment, supporting Trump, that's just not going to fly. It's just not. So that's something that they really need to get out of their head and, kind of just stop talking about it. I know there's another one I was wanting to touch base on, and oh, really? 2 or 3 inches of snow tonight? So yes, winter is coming.
Winter is coming. Wow, that voice does not fit what I was doing right there. Hold on a second.
Winter is coming. I am such a goober. I really am. So I got new headphones, but they kind of wear a little on the weird side. I don't know if I like them yet. I haven't decided. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take a quick break. And when I return, cool whip. Yeah, never mind. When I return, I got some immigration stuff to talk about. I have a headline that should disturb each and every American out there. Bad stuff. Something bad. Something wicked this way comes. Let's put it that way. Something wicked this way comes. But I'll get into that. More into that here in just a few minutes. Oh, let me actually change that and get over to here, and let's do... Ooh, that's a good one.
I'll be back. I'll be back.
I'll be back.
I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll be back. I'm back.
we ever forget that we're one nation under God, then we will be a nation going under.
All right, welcome back. I hate it whenever that happens. All right, this is going to be the immigration segment of the show, and welcome back, welcome back. And let's see here. Before I move on, Mr. Patrick, how you doing, sir? So yeah, Mr. Vecker, he brought up a very awesome thing. Now, of course, this is going back to the last segment where I was talking about gun control. But any attempt to repeal the second will result in a second revolution. And you know what? You know, like I was saying in that segment, I very much, completely, and wholeheartedly agree with that. I think it is very, very likely to happen. You know, again, not advocating it, not asking for it, don't want it. But it's going to happen. I want my freedom before I want security. You know, very much so. That's what the Second Amendment was about. It wasn't about protecting your home from robbers and thieves and murderers and anything else. The Second Amendment was put there to... You know, in a matter of speaking, the Second Amendment was put there not only to protect us from invaders. It was because the Constitution did not call for a standing army, that the militia, that the people of the free states were supposed to be doing that for them. The Second Amendment was put there to protect us from our government. That's what it was put in there for. If you don't believe me, read the Federalist Papers. Read, you know, the things that was written by George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, you know, Alexander Graham Bell. Just do a name in there. Nowhere. Alexander Graham Bell had nothing to do with it. Trust me, trust me, trust me. All right, moving on. Immigration. Here we go. Names are an awesome thing. They really, really are. All right, so I've got a few things to really touch base on, and none of them, you know, there's one of them, and I tell you what, I'm probably going to end with this one. As far as this segment goes, because this one is just a holy crap. You know what? This, in all honesty, this should terrify you. Okay. But before I get to there, let's see. Oh, yeah. I forgot to bring up those things. And that one's just kind of cool, too. Yeah, that one's neat. That one's neat. Nope, not going there yet. Ah, there we go. This is the one I was wanting to talk about. This headline comes from 538. Headline. Oop, that was almost the wrong button. Wow. There is more at stake in the census citizenship question than response rates. Anyway, they've released that there is going to be a new question in the census basically asking you what your citizenship status is. Now, I don't know exactly how in-depth they're going into this question, if it's just going to be like a one question as, you know, are you an American citizen? Or if it's going to be a two-part question as, are you an American citizen? If not, what country, you know, what country are you a citizen of? And they're claiming this is unconstitutional. Now, I have to admit that whenever they did do the whole census thing, census had absolutely nothing to do with citizenship. It was who is living where, which, you know, the whole purpose behind it was allocating tax dollars to go to the places of the higher population because they were the ones who needed certain aspects of that allocated money more than others, you know, because granted, if you are in a lower population area, obviously you don't need as much tax money to, you know, for infrastructure things, you know, roadways, different things of that nature. You don't need as much because you're, you know, that money doesn't, well, you know what I'm saying. And so the point of the census wasn't to determine citizenship. It wasn't counting citizenship. It wasn't counting anything like that. It was merely counting residents. But they're wanting to go beyond that and actually put in their questions on, you know, your immigration status. Where are you from? You know, or at least immigration status, you know, citizenship status. You know, that's what they're wanting to put in there. And I'm going to be honest with you. You know, I'm definitely going to be honest with you. Considering the amount of national debt that we have, considering the amount of, you know, pro-liberal, you know, pro-left things that our tax money is paying for, considering all of that, I keep hitting that light, moving away from me. Considering all of that, I want to know that the tax money that I have is going to Americans. Because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I truly don't care the color of your skin. I don't care your religion. I don't care your creed. I don't care about any of that. Everything is true. No, nothing is true. Everything is permitted. That's what it is. Assassin's Creed, never mind. Moving on. I just want to know that the money that is going to the federal government is actually going to support things that I believe in. Things that the Constitution says that they can spend money on. You know, that's what I want to know. I want to know that the money that I spend, the money that I work my butt off to get, the money that the federal government takes because they think that they're entitled to it, that money, I want to make sure that it's actually going to a cause that is worthy of my hard-earned labor, of my money. That's what I want to know. That's what the question is. That's what we all want, you know. You know, and it's not hateful. It's not anything. It's just, where's my money going? Because, you know, I want it to be going to somebody, not necessarily whom in my heart I believe is worthy of the money, but it's just an aspect of, you know, when you have veterans dying in the street, when you have veterans committing suicide because we don't put forth the effort and the energy to properly take care of them, and they come home and they just get kicked to the curb, you have a problem. And you have a problem whenever you are putting your money towards, you know, over towards the border to help people, you know, who's just coming across the Rio Grande in order to get, you know, sex reassignment surgeries. You have a problem when that's the kind of stuff that your money, tax money, is going to. So no, I don't want my money to go there. I want my money to go to my veterans. I want my money to go to Americans. That's what I want. That's exactly what I want. Anything more than that is a crime. Anything more than that is theft. Anything more than that is not what these people were supposed to be taking the money out to do. The government was only given power to do a certain amount of things. Gender reassignment surgery is not one of the things that is in the preview of the federal government. You want to do it? Fine, do it. Spend your money on it. Give it to them. I don't care. Don't spend my money on it. Because I don't care. I want my money to go somewhere else. Somewhere where it's needed. You know, these people fought for our freedom. Some of them died. Some of them came home leaving some of their body parts behind. We owe them something. Yes, we do. We owe them something. I'm getting irate already on this one. Holy crap. Moving on. Immigration. Well, let's see. I guess I might as well. You know what? Kind of speaking of immigration. No, I'll do that last. I'll do that last. I'm going to do this one. This one comes from BuzzFeed News. Headline: a huge caravan of Central Americans is heading for the U.S. and no one in Mexico dares to stop them. There's the picker of this. I don't know exactly how many people is pictured here. Don't know. But a couple of the numbers, and let me go ahead and try to find them for you. Here we go. 1,200 people the first day. I think whenever they left somewhere in Honduras, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Like 1,000. Now there's around 1,200. Yeah. About 80% of them from Honduras. Dadgummit. Yeah, from Honduras. And they're hitchhiking up here. They're riding on trains. They're riding on buses. And I think last time I had, or at least the last thing that I have seen on this, I haven't, of course, I mean, this is the weekend. Friday, they were in, I don't even know where. Yeah, here's some more pictures of them. Here we go. Yeah, this is where they're at. No, wait. No, that ain't it. No, here we go. Update. Friday afternoon. Let's see. They're in... Oh, wait. Stop it. Santiago, Nida, that place right there. Mexico and that state. Yeah. That's where they're at. So... I bring that up to tell you this. Guys, this is an invasion. Yeah, this is an invading army. Because these people are crossing the border because they are wanting to basically force Trump's hand to talk about immigration, to talk about DACA, to talk about amnesty, to talk about, giving them refuge and allowing them to, coming here for asylum. Okay. You have 1,200 people coming here from another country, a country who they say, like people without borders. Yeah, well, we're a country with borders. They are coming here to try to change how we do things, trying to change the Constitution to better fit them. It's an invading freaking army. They may not have weapons, but that's what their point is. They've been walking across these different countries, and nobody's been touching them. Why? Because the Mexicans don't care. Because they know that they're not going to be staying in Mexico. They're coming to the U.S. That's why they're like, we don't care what you do. Send me down to Mexico. And I did not mute my phone. I hate it when I do that. I'm going to go ahead and mute my phone. Let me mute it. Dadgummit. Turn back on. Fingerprint. Ringtone. There we go. So let me reiterate. This is an invading army from Honduras coming here in order to change how we deal with immigration. That's what they're coming here to do. To force a conversation. Well, you know what? Why do these people think that they're putting, pressure on Trump? Trump has absolutely nothing to do with immigration. See, this is the thing that bugs the holy living daylights out of me. Okay, since what? Reagan's time. They're like, immigration system broken. Well, then freaking fix it. Fix immigration. Instead, no, they want to talk about amnesty every single time. They want to talk about DACA. They want to talk about, asylums and this, that, and the other, but they never want to seem to focus their time on actually fixing the immigration policies that they say is broken. If it was that broken and they truly felt that it was that broken, then why aren't they spending any of their freaking time? I mean, how long ago was it that, 1980? Is that right? When was it that, it was before 1980, but, Reagan as the president. Yeah, Reagan as the president. So yeah, it's been since 82 at least. We'll just say 1980. So a problem that's been going on for putting there 40 years. They haven't fixed it. Not once. To my recollection, to my knowledge, there has not been one bill introduced into the House or the Senate actually addressing immigration. Addressing DACA, addressing amnesty, addressing this, that, and the other, but not actually addressing immigration and how we, our immigration system and the steps that they have to take in order to become a citizen, a legal citizen of the United States of America. I have not seen anything about a bill of that nature going through in a long time. 40 years since Reagan. They've been crying about this problem for that long. And still, they've done nothing about it. Yeah, Mr. Vacker, it looks like an invasion to me. That's exactly what I consider it. That's what I classify it as. This is an invading army from a foreign country. Call it what you will. Just because they don't have armed weapons, just because they're not armed with guns, the whole dangerous assault rifles, that doesn't mean this isn't an invading army. 1,200 people, that's an invading army from another country wanting to affect real change in our laws and in our Constitution. That is an invading army. They are diluting American citizenship from American to non-American, from people whom have immigrated and those whom have, you know, assimilated into our culture, and those that haven't assimilated into our culture. I don't care that they're not white. Who cares? They call me Caucasian. I don't even know where Caucasia is. Actually, that's a lie. I do know where Caucasia is. It's a mountain range, northern Russia. Is it weird that I actually know that? You know, before the argument was, I don't even know where Caucasia is. I don't even know what a Caucasian looks like. But yet, that's what they call me. Well, I actually know where Caucasia is. I know what it is. I know where it's at. I'm a strange individual. I really am. So yeah, it is an invading army. Pure and simple. That's what it is. You don't like me calling that tough. That's what it is. What's an army to do? Affect change. Infiltrating the people. Changing the culture. That's what it is. Invading army. That's exactly what it is. An invading army. All right, moving on, guys. Where am I at? Oh, yeah. I got some cool stuff coming up. I'm just double checking my my notes here, my articles and stuff. And I got that one. And I'll get that next. Yeah, I didn't talk about that one. I don't care. Move on. Talked about it. Get to that one. Next one. Talked about it. Getting to that. Got it. And sweet. All right. Whew, that was a lot. All right, guys. Going to take another quick break. This one is not going to be as long as the other one. That was like a 3-minute song. I did not mean for it to be a 3-minute song. So, a few minutes. Be right back.
I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll be back. I'm back.
All right, and we're back. Welcome back. All right, let's see. This first thing that I'm actually going to touch base on is Now, I have looked at articles in this. I have, been relatively keeping up on it, trying to figure out what it is that it's, not what it is that it's talking about, but as far as the impact that it's going to have. And just kind of waiting for more stuff to get out to kind of create a better, bigger picture to really inform people on this and what's coming out with it, So if you are a computer builder person, if you are a tech, if you are a geek, whatever, then this might actually interest you. And I'm sure you already know quite a bit about it as it is anyway. Now, I am referring to the NVIDIA GPP, which is a GeForce Partner Program that NVIDIA is doing. So what it is basically NVIDIA is forcing companies like Gigabyte, MSI, Asus, it's another, some of the other ones in there. Hold on, let me look. MSI, Gigabyte, Asus, EVGA is another one. They're forcing these companies in order to basically, with their branding, limit what this, whatever the branding is, that is the NVIDIA branding, to keep it as a NVIDIA label, a gamer label. That's what the whole point of it that they're doing. Okay, now here's the thing now. In an aspect, this looks good, I guess you can say, maybe, because, it's one of them things that, like, well, now let me go about this a different direction. They're doing this to companies so that, to force them, if they want to participate, it forces them to leave their branding and separate. And now, I'm not 100% sure if this is going to, like with EVGA, that they will no longer be able to do business with like AMD, or if the branding on their most popular items is going to be strictly for, NVIDIA products, and not being able to be used on, as far as the label or the branding name on the AMD products. Like, you got Gigabyte GeForce and like the Strix, for instance, with the ROG Strix. Okay, like the Strix is only going to be able to be used as the branding name for NVIDIA products. So I don't know which direction they're actually going on that. They're kind of unclear on how they're implementing it, but that's more or less what it means. It either means that, Asus is no longer going to be able to do cross-platform with both NVIDIA and AMD, or Intel and AMD, NVIDIA and AMD, or it means that Strix can't be both for AMD and NVIDIA. One or the other. That's what that means. Now, they are very dangerously going into an area of creating a monopoly. You're forcing, the companies in order to not do this. Okay, it's kind of forcing them is really putting it into a very, it's an up to interpretation kind of a thing. It very much is. It's like, hey, well, they don't have to go with us and only with us. But what it amounts to is, if you are a GPP, part of the GeForce Partner Program, then you are able to, you're able to get the early releases of the cards, so that this way you can make your MSI branded release of a graphics card at the same time that NVIDIA releases their actual graphics card, that you can participate in the release dates. And, take a hold of some of that, like just coming out, marketing. That's what it has to do with. Okay. And if you're not part of the GF or the GPP, the GeForce Partner Program, then you cannot participate in that. You don't get the early releases, and it's going to hurt your sales, So that's what that amounts to. And apparently AMD is ticked about this. NVIDIA has been keeping their mouth shut. They're not really talking about it. They're not, releasing anything more additional to it. The only thing that they did, with what they did release, was basically in an answer to, the releases that has already been done, with some YouTubers out there that have already been releasing information. That's the only thing that NVIDIA has really done. Anything other than that, one of them things, explaining themselves. They haven't done anything more than their initial release on it, and that's it. They're keeping their mouth shut. So, yeah. I can't say as if I like it. I think in a matter of speaking, it may end up hurting NVIDIA in a matter of speaking. But at the same time, I think they're big enough that I don't think it's really going to end up hurting them at all. It's kind of one of the things that can go either way. You know, it can very much go either way. It can give people whom on a normal circumstances wouldn't consider using AMD as a, hey, you know what, since NVIDIA's, you know, being a baby and doing this, let's go ahead and see what AMD's all about. You know, it very possibly could do that. You know, people whom, you know, strictly Intel, strictly NVIDIA, let's try AMD. You know, let's go over to that side and let's see what it's all about. You know, let's see if it's worth it to me to change. And that could be a very possible, you know, a very possible outcome of this. You know, that's just my little what I think. You know, it could backfire on them, very easily backfire on them. They are, you know, they are definitely in trouble as far as, you know, getting some type of lawsuit with trying to do a monopoly type of a thing, something that Intel has already been, what's that word I'm looking for? Had lawsuits against them as far as like non-compete clauses or whatever because they're too big. You know, so the same thing could happen here with NVIDIA. So just kind of wondering how that's going to work. I'm trying to get something off my screen. And of course, it doesn't want to get off my screen. They really want me to have Wendy's right now. Apparently, they want me to have Wendy's. All right, moving on. Next headline. This one comes from Mashable. Facebook employees, I did not mean to kick the camera. Facebook employees are melting down over leaked growth at any cost memo report. Now, I talked about this last week, maybe. I think it was last week. Talking about, you know, Facebook with their whole, privacy settings that they have been, you know, collecting all your data, all your personal data, location, whom you talk to, whom you text message, whom you have any type of communication with, whether it be, you know, an instant message, a text message, a telephone call, a Skype thing, a Snapchat, whatever, linking to each and every aspect of your telephone, history, cookies, with your browser, everything, linking into everything, and they take all that data and they sell it. Growth at any cost, because here's the thing, when you're talking any type of a company that has any type of a service that they are providing to you free of charge, make no mistake about it, you are the commodity that they are selling. And if they can make money off of you, that's what they're going to do. And that's one of them things too, you know, like Facebook, for instance, you know, in a manner of speaking, I consider these guys, and of course, I am also streaming on Facebook. Hello, Facebooks. They're too big to touch on this. Just saying. They're too big. It doesn't matter to them, you know. One of the guys I listen to, I keep up with his stuff, Alex Exum, hosted the Exum Experience. He's talked about this, you know. Addicted to social media, you know. People are addicted to it. They can't put it down. They can't walk away from it. They can't go their entire day without touching it. I went over a year not even on Facebook whatsoever, and I tell you what, I didn't miss anything. I didn't miss news. I was still plugged in where I needed to be plugged into to find out what was going on. You know, Morgan Freeman died like 20 times on Facebook. You know, I knew what was going on. I knew what was going on with family and friends. I was updated on things. I really was. I didn't miss anything. I missed a lot of drama. That was a good thing. I had no problem missing drama. Missing drama was great. You know, I only got back on the Facebook for the show. That's it. That's the only reason why I even got back on Facebook. That is it. That's the only reason why I'm here. If it wasn't for me doing this, and this is just in a matter of speaking, one of the best ways to, you know, it's one of the best ways to really get it out there with the most people, whatever, you know, it's a great place to do it. It's the only reason why I'm here. I mean, yeah, there's other options out there, but Facebook everybody's on Facebook, you know. I mean, I love the rest of them too, but Facebook is a more well-known than the rest of them. YouTube is also absolutely amazing. I'm on YouTube as well. But yeah, they don't care. And another one of the things, you really can't sue them in a matter of speaking for being upfront and open with what their privacy policies are. And I mean, let's face it, whenever you got the app, you click the I agree button, you agreed to allow them to do this. Now, I don't know if they have gone beyond the terms and agreement aspect of that. You know, that's something for a legal team to battle out. But all said and done, the people who were crying wolf on this, you agreed to it. Just because you didn't read the fine print, that's not, you know, Facebook's problem. I mean, it's really not. I'm sorry. But, you know, whenever you are doing a free service, such as Facebook, such as all the other ones out there, you're the commodity. They're going to be selling your information as much as they can get off of you. Now, granted, Facebook has gone above and beyond as far as, you know, getting your IP addresses and, you know, banking information and all that other kind of crap that they have gotten. You know, I mean, they have gone above and beyond. They have gone too far, but just on the surface of it, you know, I mean, hey, it's our fault because we said agree to it, you know. So, moving on. Let's see here. Speaking of social media, I'm going to go ahead and get into this one. This is from the Sunday Morning Herald. Headline, let me make sure that is off, and it is. Headline, millions of visitors to U.S. face social media screening. I thought this was hilarious because it's one of them things that, you know, there's probably some outroar on this, but, you know, one of the things that I was, you know, that it reminded me of, I guess I should say, is like jobs are using your social media for, you know, the hiring, you know, your screening before they let you, you know, before they hire you into a company. You know, there's a lot of businesses out there that do that. You know, so I don't know why people would be surprised to hear that we would use such a, you know, that we would use this information for screening people to come into the country. I think it's a great idea. You know, I really do. Why, you know, spend millions of dollars into researching an individual whenever you can just, you know, friend them on Facebook and get all that information from them, you know? And yeah, we do it. Hey, I'm going to here. I'm with these people. I've left the house, yada, yada, blah, blah. You just put a sign on your social media door to your house saying, nobody's home. Come right on in, steal whatever you want to. Makes no sense to me. But that's what we do on social media every single day. I'm going to tell you all my crap because I'm so important. Whatever. Moving on. Let's see. What's the next one I heard? Oh, yeah, that's a good one. All right, here's my last topic of the day. This is awesome. I'm bringing it up. This actually comes from CNET. Of course you're going to play. Sweet. All right. This headline, bam, SpaceX nails first of 2 rocket launches in just 4 days. All right. For those of you that may not know, this is a satellite internet company. I think that's cool. An internet company that is going to be using satellites to get, you know, send and receive of your actual data. I thought this was just really freaking cool. The number that they had talked about as far as how many they are going to be launching was like 1,000 or 1,500, right around in there. I think I heard the number. I've heard about this talked about, and I was actually trying to find more information on it. Unfortunately, I got a couple stories in on it, but I mean, I haven't gotten a lot. It was like a 1,000 or something around that number, as far as how many satellites they're going to be launching into the atmosphere. And I believe, according to the FCC, they have to have, Oh, there was a time frame, and as far as how many they were going to have the full number out, and I think the FCC said you had to have like half of them out within the next, it was either 3 or 6 years. Let me see if I can, oh, shut up. There we go. Let's see if I can get into the other article where it talks about this. Let's see. Elon Musk wants to blanket the world with the best satellite internet service ever. The FCC just said yes. So yeah, that's probably in here. Oh, wow. Okay, so, wow, I was off. Holy crap. All right, so they plan to launch a total of 12,000 satellites into low Earth orbit. The idea is both to provide broadband to areas that don't have good broadband service and to offer faster internet service than you can get from satellite providers today. And they have to have the first 4,425 satellites. Oh, wait. Okay, so they got to launch the first 4,425 into a relatively higher orbit than what I guess the other ones are. But they have to have like the first. No, let's see here. Like the first half of them. You know what? I've forgotten quite a bit about this stinking thing. Yeah. They have to have like the first half of them within the next 2 or 3 years. So they're supposed to have all of them in place by 2024. No, I'm sorry. They have to have 50% of the satellites in place by March of 2024 and the rest by March of 2027. Otherwise, the company may need to reapply for approval. Okay, that was the information I was looking for. So, takeaway on that, you know, and this is one of them things that, I mean, if they really want to do this right, okay, you're talking not just satellite internet for mobile use, for home use, for whatever. You're talking satellite phones and things of that nature. You know, I mean, this is a technology that they can really use in order to give another alternative, because I mean it's FCC, you know, compliant, regulated, whatever already as far as communications goes. You know, so I mean if they put the additional technology into this for calls, for cell phone integration, different things like that, you don't have to worry about non-coverage, because with that many satellites, 4,425 satellites, you know, dead zones, you know, no coverage. I don't have to worry about it anymore. You know, I mean, the implications in this is just, it's pretty stinking cool. You know, I thought it was pretty cool. You know, but yeah, 4,425 of them by, that ain't right. 12,000 of them and 4,425 of them by 2024. That's pretty freaking cool. But yeah, I mean, I don't see them just stopping. I mean, there's nothing in here that says that satellite, you know, telephones is a, you know, a direction that they plan on going. But my thing is, why not? You know, give the other cell phone companies a run for their money. You know, offer them something that they can't provide, which is total coverage. That's just cool. Total coverage. Wow, that would be awesome. You know, that'd be very, very cool. Well, guys, that pretty well concludes the show. I thank you for joining. Thank you for being part of it. If you guys liked the video, don't forget to give me the thumbs up. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That'll give you notifications anytime I go live or add any videos or do anything on there. So, yeah, thank you guys much. Good night. Sleep tight, and if them bed bugs bite, well then, by golly, bite them back. Yippers. All right, guys. Have a good one. Bye.